So we have some very important people to introduce and recognize this evening.
Yep.
Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Morrison family and Mr. Zarin. Mr. McIntosh, would you like to say a few words about the foundation and Mr. Zarin's part?
Sure. Well, tonight we're here to recognize a Concord resident, but presenting an award is Mr. Eric Zarin, who currently serves as the president and secretary of the Carnegie Hero Foundation. It's a Pittsburgh-based foundation that recognizes civilian heroism. He's served as president since June of 2017. Prior to that, served as executive director until in 2016, and has been a member of the board since 2015. Mr. Zarin retired from the U.S. Secret Service in May of 2016 following a 25-year career as a special agent. Amongst things that he served as special agent in charge of the Pittsburgh field office from 2010 until his retirement in 2016. He had multiple assignments in the Secret Service, including the Newark field office, and served in the Presidential Protection Division, protecting President Clinton and President George W. Bush, and served as resident attaché in charge in Berlin. He's a graduate at Indiana University of Pennsylvania and University of London, also having studied in Germany. The Hero Fund was established by Carnegie in 1904, and a Carnegie Medal has been awarded to 10,000 individuals in recognition of outstanding heroism in the act of saving lives. They have given out grants totaling more than $40 million have been given to benefit awardees and their survivors, to include scholarship age and continuing assistance and death benefits. So thank you for being here this evening.
It's amazing. Yeah, I also think it's important just to touch base on what the Commission's working definition of a hero is, as well as the requirements for the award. The candidate for an award must be a civilian who voluntarily risks his or her life to an extraordinary degree while saving or attempting to save the life of another person. The rescuer must have no full measure of responsibility for the safety of the victim. There must be conclusive evidence to support the act's occurrence, and the act must be called to the attention of the Commission within 2 years. Pretty amazing.
So Shane, we have been thinking about this for a long time, and we would like to recognize you. Mr. Rose, can you please read our letter?
Well, is there a medal presentation? We'll probably do that first, Madam Chair, and then we can do the proclamation immediately following.
Okay. All right, then we can.
Come on up.
Thank you so much for having us here today. We're truly honored to join you here, and thank you all for being here in addition to regular township business to honor our most recent Carnegie hero, Shane Morrison. Thank you to the trustees for having us. Appreciate it very much. You did a great job laying out some of the thinking behind the fund and some of the history of the fund itself. You mentioned that Andrew Carnegie established it in 1904. So for 118 years, we've been doing three essential things: recognizing civilian heroism in the U.S. and Canada, supporting those heroes in a number of different ways, and also equally as important to our cause is to tell the story of what these heroes did for other people. You mentioned the requirements for the award. Of the hundreds of cases the Commission examines every year, only about 10% are ultimately awarded, and 20% of our medals are awarded posthumously to those who lost their lives in their efforts to save another person. Awardees of the Carnegie Medal come from all different backgrounds: racial, ethnic, religious, socio-economic backgrounds, but they have one thing in common, and that is in a moment of truth when lives were in peril, that they made that split-second decision to risk their own lives on behalf of another individual. Really what we recognize through the Carnegie Medal is a moral choice made by the rescuer in that moment. That choice changes lives. It changes the lives of the rescuer, of the rescued party, and others who may be inspired to act in behalf of others, as Shane did. In a sense, our heroes take a heartbeat oath in a moment of intensity with real life, long-lasting, sometimes final consequences. And it binds the rescuer to accept whatever outcome stems from their willingness to trade their life for another. So Shane certainly embodies Carnegie's ideal and the very best of human nature. Our innate ability to selflessly put another's life above our own without obligation or thoughts of our own well-being. So with that said, I'd like to read the official act of what Shane actually did to be considered for recognition by the Hero Fund Commission. Shane Morrison helped to rescue Donovan Conwell from drowning, Mentor, Ohio, on June 24th, 2020. Donovan, 13, was swimming in Lake Erie when he had difficulty returning to the rock breakwater from which he had entered the water. Shane, 15, a high school student, was atop the breakwater with friends when he saw Donovan bobbing up and down in deep water about 200 feet northeast of the breakwater. Shane dived into the water, swam to Donovan, and grasped him from behind. A lengthy struggle ensued, during which Donovan submerged Shane repeatedly as Shane kept Donovan afloat in the water. Authorities arrived shortly in a boat, brought Shane and Donovan aboard, and took them to safety. Donovan, who had ingested water, received treatment at a hospital and recovered. Shane, nearly exhausted, also recovered. Shane, can I ask you to join me here just quickly? It's truly my honor and privilege on behalf of the Hero Fund Commission to present to you the Carnegie Medal for Civilian Heroism. Thank you.
Tilt it down just a smidge. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Shane, congratulations. So now we would like to read our recognition letter. Mr. Rose, please.
Concord Township Proclamation for Shane Morrison. It is with great pleasure that the trustees of Concord Township extend their congratulations to Shane Morrison for attainment of North America's highest honor for civilian heroism, the Carnegie Medal. The Carnegie Medal is given throughout the U.S. and Canada to those who enter extreme danger while saving or attempting to save the lives of others. As of this date, a total of 10,273 Carnegie medals have been awarded since the Pittsburgh-based fund's inception in 1904. 15-year-old Shane Morrison of Concord Township, Ohio, was atop a rocky breakwater with friends on June 24th, 2020, when he noticed a younger boy drifting into deeper water in Lake Erie off of Mentor, Ohio. After shouting at the boy and receiving no response, Shane of Concord Township, Ohio, jumped in and swam to 13-year-old Donovan Conwell. Donovan had already struggled to remain afloat for several minutes, and as Shane approached, he panicked and submerged Shane repeatedly as Shane kept him afloat in the water. Shane attempted to swim back toward the breakwater, but he made little progress due to strong currents pulling them farther into the lake. Donovan was in and out of consciousness as Shane trod water. Authorities arrived in a boat, picked up the boys, and took them to safety. Donovan, who ingested water, received treatment at a hospital, and he recovered. Although nearly exhausted, Shane was not injured. Shane, we congratulate you on receiving the Carnegie Medal and for your act of heroism. Sincerely, the Concord Township Board of Trustees, Amy Lucci, Carl H. Dondorfer, and Morgan McIntosh. Thank you.
We're going to come down.
Yeah, I'll spin around so that I'll say this. Okay.
Sure.
The right. Thank you, everyone. This is probably a good time if you're here for the Morrison presentation, unless you want to listen to wonderful Concord Township business. This is the perfect time to escape.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Yes.
It's a pleasure
Thank you
to
very
meet you.
much.
Yes.
Have a great evening.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Great job. Congratulations. Okay, that's the way to start a meeting, I think.
Great way to start a
Positive
meeting.
note, right?
On a positive note.